Hello, lovely. Welcome to a walkthrough of thefierygrace.com. My website has been up and running for the last, oh my goodness, 7 years, 6 years, 5 years, something like that. And I've never taken the time to walk you through what the process looks like to work with me and how to even book something. So I'm going to walk through first just where everything is located, and then I will walk through some of the actual products. All right. And in between, we'll talk about what it looks like to purchase and when you hear back from me, what the process looks like. All right. So when you arrive at the homepage, I'm going to run through the desktop version very quickly, but I'm going to tell you that most people, they do utilize their phones for watching YouTube and for making some type of purchases. So I'm going to shrink the screen down a little bit, and we're going to more so look at it from the standpoint of a mobile viewer. But just for the moment, if you do go to the website on the computer, it'll look like this. You'll show up and there's just some images here, very simple. There, it's me. Hey, if you've never seen me before, hi, hello, it's me. And what I really wanted to show you is that I've added a search bar. And you'll see there's a few different things that you could search for, but you could really type in any word that comes to mind to see what it will pull up. If you're interested in any kind of like business or coaching stuff, type in business or coaching. If you're looking for phone calls, maybe type in phone. If you're looking for the different tarot options, type in tarot, just to give you an idea of how to search. But also, let's say that you were looking for something really specific. We'll use the New Wave Prophecy. So we'll type in prophecy, and then astrology series is what you're looking for. So we'll type astrology and we'll see what happens. And boom, it pulls up the New Wave Prophecy. And you will have to go into the drop down to find this, particular thing we're talking about. But that's how that search function works. So the search function has always been there. It's up here on the desktop, but I added it to the main page so that if there's ever a point where you're like, where do I find what I'm looking for? You don't have to stress too much. However, it is actually pretty simple, and you'll notice that we've got these drop downs. So there's coaching, there's merchandise, and then there's learn more. Coaching is probably what you're going to be looking for. There's phone coaching, there's intuitive coaching, and there's courses. But I'm going to give you a quick little secret. All right. If you click this banner, I'm always going to make sure that it takes you to services. So if you go to the homepage and you see this banner at the top that usually lets you know about the sales going on for the month, when you click that, it should take you to services moving forward. And on this page on services, it will say, are you looking for exclusive insights? Okay, well, click right here. And on the exclusives page, it says, are you looking for personalized readings? All right, go here. Okay. And if you're interested in a course, you can find that right there. So that's how you are going to get to the services page you're probably used to seeing. All right. Now, we will start with these drop downs. Okay. We've got intuitive coaching, we've got courses, and each of these buttons is also clickable. So it's not just going to open up a menu. You can click it and it will take you to where you're supposed to go. We also have some merchandise, and this merchandise pretty much just supports me either as an author or it supports my homeless ministry. So we'll just go through these. You've got 1111 apparel, which is our clothing and accessories line. So if you're interested, you can go to our shop, and 1111 apparel, I'm not touching that yet, but is where you'll find all the different designs that we have. And we've got some pretty cool designs. I really love some of the things that we've been able to create. We have the whole Lightworker brand. So I don't really talk about it very much because I don't want anybody to feel like they have to buy this kind of stuff, but that is what our 1111 apparel would look like. So there's also, you can get novels from me directly. You can also get them anywhere. If you want to read these books, you can get them pretty much anywhere books are sold. But if you're looking for something autographed from me, then that is where you will find this, and I can ship them internationally. There's also Bookmark, and this is a great way to support me, but also to get something tangible. If you've ever wanted, because you watch me on YouTube, and a lot of people, we all feel really connected from how much time we spend together and my clients and all that, but we still never have anything physical. And I think this is a really cool way for us to connect and for you to also be able to support the ministry. So if you're interested, if you're like me and you like sentimental little simple, tangible things. That's the kind of stuff I like too. And then I do have some necklaces. I don't have them pictured here, and you can see what they are just by scrolling down. And there are also some bookmarks that you can order. And these are really simple, kind of just crafty type things that I've created so that I can raise funds for Handmade Hope. And Handmade Hope is a homeless ministry I've been operating since 2007. So you can learn more about that here on this page. But just to give you an idea, these are the kinds of bags that I have been making for people who are without homes or who are low on funds and are not necessarily able to pick up things that we kind of take for granted. And so I like to just pass out these blessing bags, or in some cases, I even do food bags, just a few sandwiches with some, toothbrush, toothpaste, a little thing of soup there, and just get a little simple plastic bag that you can hand out the window. These are the kinds of things that I've done for a really long time. This was a really big one that I did in Vegas. So I don't know. I don't talk about my ministry that much because I don't want to be one of those people, but I also should talk about it more because I want you to know that all the money that I get every month, every year, every day, whatever you want to think about it as, I take at least 20% of that. 10% is required, 10% is my offering, and I devote that to my ministries. So I'm just letting you know, if you've ever wondered, that's where this stuff goes. And then in Learn More, you can find out about us. You can donate here. So if you've ever wanted to just send in something, no strings attached, there is where you would do that. There's also the covenant between us. So I do have terms and conditions like most people do. But I did take the time to go through and just list out what those would be in layman's terms without having all the mumbo jumbo. So if you're interested in checking that out anytime, you can. And then here is where, if for some reason you cannot find my email address, you can go to the contact me part of my website, thefierygrace@gmail.com. Great. All right, boom. You can find that, or you can submit a contact form here and it'll still go to my email. So whichever one works for you, but I'll probably see an email directly from you before I see the website contact email. So that's why I list that email address here. If you ever also have any questions, you can click the frequently asked questions. And I also have our booking agreement. So if you have any information that you're looking for, that's where you're probably going to find more like, I don't know, the business side of stuff. But let's say that you've gone through this site and you've made a purchase. You are going to have your cart. You'll go all the way into checkout. And here's where some people do get a little bit confused because up here it says express checkout or. And some people think we only accept PayPal, GPay, or Venmo. I don't know if maybe the way it's showing up on their phone or their computer, it only shows these at first and they don't realize to scroll down or something. But I just want to let you guys know, we work with Shopify. That's what this website is set up on. And they accept, we don't run your credit card, just like I'm not affiliated with YouTube at all. So if you have a membership on YouTube, there's nothing I can really do to help you, to see it, to set it up for you. You got to go through them to do that. In the same way, working with Shopify, I don't run your credit card manually or anything like that. This is run through a gigantic trusted corporation, or you could also go through PayPal. So if you're interested in working with us in the future, I would recommend at least one time going through this part here so that you can create an account with us, okay? If you're not sure, that's no problem, but just keep this in mind. If you go through with PayPal, GPay, or Venmo, and they have an email address for you that they can provide, then great, I have your information. I can contact you. That's how I reach out, is through Gmail. But if for some reason they don't provide me with the email address for you, or in some cases people have old PayPal accounts and they have not updated the contact email, I have no way to reach you where you need to be reached. So that's why I say, make sure that if you go through these up here, PayPal, GPay, Venmo, that you also then go through and send me an email, maybe even using that contact form that you saw, just saying, hey, Grace, just making sure you have my email. If you go through this section here, you can provide your email for me. And that helps me to be able to reach you immediately, helps you get your order on time. And in the future, if we work together, if I know I've worked with you and I see your name come through, and let's say you do an express checkout, I'll know how to email you in most cases. I'll be like, wait a minute, I've worked with this person. So just keep that in mind. At least the first time we work together, please make sure I have your email. And if you're wanting to pay with any other form of payment other than PayPal, Venmo, GPay, you do have to go through, it's just like on any other website, a typical credit card transaction thing. So that is that. And I just wanted to give you an idea. Now I'm going to shrink this down because I want to show you essentially what this is going to look like here. What this is going to look like from your phone, because this is where most of you are going to go. So again, we're on the phone and everything's pretty much the same. The search is down here. You can get to 1111 apparel and gifts here, the 1111 shirts, sweatshirts, tumblers, hats, anything you can think of. We've got some really cool stuff that you can check out. And I really love my Fine and Divine series. They're just so cute. So you can find that here. You can find the books, access to like the Amazon page to be able to check those out at any point. Here, and then Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I pretty much am only on YouTube. I'm just not really a social media person. But if you are interested in working with us, especially if you're interested in sales and finding out, getting like discount codes, things I send out only to people that I've worked with already, you can put your email address here and it will get you. Some of you have heard me say, hey, I emailed you. If you've worked with me before, if you have an account with me, or if you've, signed up for the newsletter, that is how you get signed up for that. So that's where everything is on the homepage. And just like with the desktop, you click the banner, everything's the same. The only thing I'll tell you, the way these look is a little bit different. And this is where I do want to go through them a little bit better. So you'll see all the merchandise stuff we just went through. And then we've got intuitive coaching and we've got courses. And so what I want to show you, when you click phone coaching, it's going to take you to our phone sessions. I have phone sessions with that. There's no tarot involved. And this is great if you need to do, I used to have specific calls for like business and stuff like that. At this point, if you want to talk about your divine counterpart, if you want to talk about your career, if you want to talk about anything at all, a phone session, a general phone session is fine. Okay. Now we also have intuitive coaching. And the intuitive coaching is going to show you exclusives, partnership coaching, and dynamic advisory sessions. When you see dynamic, that means me and Mr. Lightwork. So I'll click that and you'll see these are our chats. Okay. We also have exclusives, and exclusives are pre-recorded. So I just want to make that clear. Every so often I get an order where someone types me a really long message and they're like, here's everything you need to know, but they've ordered an exclusive. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I think they thought this was a personal reading. The issue with these is that it says that it's not a personal, but it's kind of underneath where you would click, buy or pay, right? So just wanted to let you know it's not personalized and it is not a automated service. I go through and send every single order out myself. So if you place this order, let's say on a Friday evening, you will not hear from me until Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, depending on if I've got a lot of calls. So just keep that in mind. There's most days you'll hear back from me immediately or the next morning or whatever, but there is a point every week where we're not going to be available. And if you order something like this, I can feel like, wait, it's digital. Why can't I have it now? It's just because I have to send it to you still. So we've got that. We went through everything. Oh, and then there's partnership coaching. I haven't really talked about this too much on my channel, but I do have what I would consider reunion, or even you can call it separation coaching, really, where I have a few different options of working with me on more of a coaching basis, tailored programming specifically for you to help you through some of the things that you want to do. So you'll see the question here, what do you want to do? And there's just a variety of different things that I offer. But I really don't promote this very much because I take coaching very seriously. And if you just want to have phone calls, then let's just have phone calls, right? If you just want to do readings, let's just do readings. This coaching program, these coaching programs that I create for you, I actually spend the time when we're not together devoting a lot of time. Unfortunately, I have issues. I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I do too much. I spend a lot of time making these tailored to the person that I'm working with. And about 50% of the time, they really just wanted to talk. And that's totally cool, but we don't have to create a coaching program for that, because I feel like it's kind of a waste of your money and of my time. And I don't want either one of us to feel that way. I want to help people who really are like, Grace, I know that we're supposed to work together. I believe that you can help me. I know exactly what I want to do. I believe that this is the right program. So I'm going to take this so I can have the ability to discern my true masculine in separation. Okay, great. We can sit down and we can do that together and we can work through the program. So I just want to make that really clear. If you're looking for general coaching and just like talking and conversing and working through some things, just order a few calls and we can schedule those out. I have quite a few clients that is how I work with them. I have been coaching them for multiple years, but they buy coaching calls at their own pace. Okay. And I have absolutely no problem with that. And I want to remind you that if we've spoken more than once and if we've spoken recently, I'm going to remember you. I think that's another thing people might think is like, if we don't have a coaching plan, and let's say we don't speak for a month or even a week, that I think they might think that I won't remember. I do. I promise I do. Now, if it's been 2 years and you have a really specific situation, and maybe it'll take me the first 15 minutes of our call to go, oh, and then every piece of the memory floods back in. So I just want to, give you that peace of mind that you don't have to work with me as a coach in order to get those benefits that way. Okay. All right. And then there's also the courses. And when you click courses, it'll take you to all the courses that I offer. But I just want to show you the ones that I think are the most important. If you ever say, Grace, what is your thing? Like, what's your program for me getting into union? I'm going to tell you straight up, stop letting people tell you that's a thing. All right. But if you're going to come to me and say, well, Grace, if I wanted to get the most important information that you have to offer me, what reading should I watch? Where should I go? What should I do? I'm going to tell you to look at the contract reading for the collective. I'm going to tell you to watch maybe a couple readings here and there that I think everyone should see. And then I'm going to tell you to watch or take these assessments. All right. So the spiritual archetypes and the reunion journey toolkits, these two together, I believe that if you just get these two, that your intuitive path forward, your intuitive ascension, the expansion of your abilities will skyrocket. Everything will go through the roof for you, because you are able to depend on your own intuition to do these two types of evaluations, basically. So I highly recommend these two. And then the Road to Reunion course, right now, the only course we have is week 2. And it is Mr. Lightwork's course about how to resolve the issues of your separation. And there's a couple of them that even if you don't get the whole course, I highly recommend. And then the New Wave Prophecy, I do think is something really special that anyone who watches my channel should know this stuff. But I also understand that some of it goes so far beyond and above and outside twin flames into divine that it's like, I'm not really ready for that right now. I need to focus more on, I want a partner. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to get through separation. So if you're not there, I don't even recommend getting it. I don't recommend watching it, because I always tell people, don't plant seeds in the wrong ground. All right. You'll know when you're ready to go above where you've been. And for those of you who have not watched your New Wave Prophecy videos yet, I hope that you'll ask yourself, it's been a year. Am I ready for this? Okay. I think it'll be very important for those of you, especially if you did get them when they first came out. So when you click courses, intuitive coaching, phone coaching, these are going to take you to the main services that I offer. Now we're going to go through, I guess while I'm here really quick, I can show you the courses because it's pretty simple. So there's the partnership coaching we already talked about, the spiritual archetype evaluation, which is the companion to the reunion journey toolkit. So this is like the 5D and the 3D. When you take these assessments and watch these videos and trainings and readings that are associated with this, I feel like there is so much information that you're going to get. I cannot explain how well balanced, now that I've created this spiritual archetypes, how everything comes together. And I'm just like, I feel like I figured out why I was here. Now I just have to figure out what I'm supposed to do with it, because you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't think that this is the end for this, but I don't know how else, how do I get this out to other twin flames and to people who might not necessarily be ready for my types of messages, but need this, because it's not a me thing. It's beyond. So I'm just like, so these two together, I think, are really important. And I highly suggest, if you already have them, that you actually start to utilize them, because I think it can be really revolutionizing for your journey. The reunion journey, the Road to Reunion course with Mr. Lightwork I mentioned is here. And then I also have personal coaching. So there's partnership coaching, and then there's personal coaching. Personal coaching is more about things that you want to do as an individual, or things you need to do to start on your path that eventually will merge with your person. But this is where I would recommend, like, if you're trying to write a book, start a YouTube channel, if you're just trying to get yourself to a place where you're, managing your time better, stuff like that, that normal coaching stuff. This is personal coaching. Okay. But I have these courses. This is a course about building a business. This is a course about working from home, so having a home-based business. And then this is a course about having a YouTube channel. And if you want to do what I've done, you will want to take all three of these courses. And if you are interested, I actually have created something called power courses. So I take different modules from each of these curriculum, and I build one specific to any particular path. All right, I'll show you that in a moment. And then the last thing here is the collective support group. If for any reason you don't use Facebook, like you don't even have a Facebook, I completely understand having not joined the support group. However, if you would get on Facebook to chat with your DM, you should get on Facebook for this support group. If you would get on Facebook to sell something on Marketplace, or join a different type of group, or connect with a friend from before, or whatever, if you would get on Facebook if you would be willing to log into any other website, if I said that I had a support group and it was on some other site, I understand that you don't like Facebook, neither do I. But I use Facebook for business purposes, and I think that you could use Facebook for educational purposes. This group could be the one thing you do, where you log in each morning, you do it, and you log back out and you're done. Or you log in once a week, even if that's all you want to do. You find the coursework, you connect with a few people, and you move on. But the main reason I say this is because there are going to be days and nights where you need someone. And not someone you got to pay for a reading from. Not someone you got to go, you just can listen to them talk and talk and talk. You're going to want to connect. And this collective support group is the place to connect. It is incredibly powerful, knowing that there are divine feminines across the world who are able to connect, not just in the group, but there are a bunch of chats. So if you're not really someone who's normally into group chats, fine, don't join any of them then. But if you are someone who knows that sometimes on this journey, it can get very lonely, that it's nice to hear from other divine feminines when you're like in the chat or something like that, and you have not joined this support group, please reconsider. It is, in terms of the things that I've created, yeah, I think that some of these programs are amazing, right? But in terms of what I think is the most beneficial thing we have is us. So if you want to join on the YouTube channel, I mean, that's cool. And that really supports the ministry. But you still only get to connect with those people, like if I go live or something. This, to me, is the thing that so many of us are missing. So I hope that you will consider it. So let's look at power courses really quick. All right. And then we'll move on from our courses and stuff and go into the more typical services. The power courses are, remember, modules that I've built from these three courses. So let's look into what we have. There are 5 power courses: the power of entrepreneurship, connectivity, productivity, light work, and mindset. If you've been trying to get your light work in order, take the power of light work. If you want to become an entrepreneur or do some sort of social media type ministry or business, these are going to be really powerful: entrepreneurship and connectivity. And then the power of productivity is if you've been struggling to kind of get things in order, to manage your time, to to do things that you know are going to be good for you, even though you really want to, but you just can't. This can help you kind of get everything in order. A lot of these courses are about taking that learning curve and throwing that out the window. It helps bring you to the place that you're trying to get to. And I've worked really hard to bring everything together in a way that can help those of us who are also highly spiritual bring things down into the physical world and start to manifest the things that divine has put in our heart. So if you're interested, you can take the course. If you don't want me to walk you through it, you could also just get the workbooks, but I highly recommend. There's a lot, like the power of entrepreneurship. Let's look, actually, I think this one, the power of connectivity. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of modules here, and I do recommend that you have the videos that I've created to go along with it. The videos are short. I think they're maybe like 15, 20 minutes, and they go along with a workbook, and it basically just helps walk you through getting all that stuff out of your head into reality. We're going to flesh some things out. All right. So that is our courses. If you're interested in taking a course with me or any kind of program or evaluations, anything like that that I've created, then I suggest you check those out. We'll close out with the reunion, the road to reunion. And like I said, you'll find the reunion resolution. That's the second one is available. And then you'll also see that the individual courses, the modules here are available. And so I recommend making conversation and the talk. If you're ever going to be able to reconnect with your person and find something that's going to actually make a difference in the physical world in a way that they would notice, I believe that these two courses, number 10 and number 14, can change everything. But honestly, Mr. Lightwork did an amazing job. These are all the most important things Mr. Lightwork has to tell every single divine feminine he works with. There's all kinds of unique situations and circumstances to everybody, right? But there's also the stuff that every divine feminine should know. And these are Mr. Lightwork's. And so I recommend, if you are interested in learning from a divine masculine's point of view, especially one who doesn't just live in the clouds. Mr. Lightwork is very much a 3D DM in many ways when it comes to how he thinks and moves. And there's no shame in that for us. All right. The divine feminine usually is the more 5D focused individual. If you want to hear from someone that would actually get your divine masculine's point of view and help you understand that, this is going to be really valuable. And then the last thing we'll go over in courses is the spiritual archetypes, which I guess I'll actually start with the Reunion Journey Toolkit, because this is more of our 3D focused coursework. So we have the complete toolkit now includes the 3 twin flame journey toolkit assessments. So you can assess yourself, your divine masculine, and also how far along on the reunion timeline you two are, where that actually falls, like what kind of relationship you guys have in the physical world. And then there are 3 readings that go along with these assessments. So there's a video for each of these that walks you through with tarot some of the information. There's a video that I've created called the Journey Relationship Styles, which basically talks about what happens when we all come together and what the different types of relationships look like. And then the last thing that I've decided to add moving forward is the Lightworker Inventory Assessment. I've always had the Lightworker assessment separate, but I now have included it with the Reunion Journey Toolkit because I believe that a lot of us in the 3D, we're struggling to bring our 5D Lightwork manifester, creator, all that kind of those ideas, that kind of stuff into the physical world. And this helps us to take an inventory of what might be missing. And I think that these things all go together. So I decided to add these last 2 into the toolkit. And so whenever you purchase that, you'll be able to receive all of this content. It's quite a lot of content, but it can definitely provide you with resources, information. There are with the assessments, you can use the assessment statements as affirmations. There is a lot that I went and put into this. And I think that this was one of the most important things I ever created when I created it. So I think the only other thing was like the twin flame contract was like, boom, whoa. But this can help you really see what a reading I think can only bring more confusion to, this can help clarify what's going on in the physical world and how you're supposed to navigate it. Now, there's then the spiritual archetypes evaluation, and that includes 2 assessments and 4 training videos. There's the partner evaluation, where you can find out what type of twin flame you are. There are 4 types of twin flames. Then and I will say this, once you find out what type of twin flame you are, you automatically know what type of twin flame your partner is. This to me is where the idea of twin flame comes from. Okay. The couple evaluation allows you to then assess the situation, the set of circumstances of your current dynamic, and can help you see if you're dealing with your true twin, if you're dealing with another divine masculine that might not be your divine masculine, or something else altogether. It can help you evaluate the energy, and both of these can help you kind of figure out what level of divinity is your current energy sitting in, dwelling in. All right. And then the 4 training videos, we walk through the archetypes. We talk about the 4 types of twin flames in the second training. In the third training, we talk about what happens when I won't even say, this one goes kind of deep. This one to me like helped me discover a secret of life. So I get a little like about this. It shows you what divine alignment actually looks like. We keep talking about it. We keep saying it, but I never thought I could see a visual of it. And then it talks about in training 4, the pain of karmic alignment and what pretty much this kind of opposition energy looks like, and how that can show up in our partnerships, depending on if, we're with the right person or what energy they're in. It's really, really special. I love what has come through here. This was just birthed to close out 2024. And it just really shocked me how it just flowed. And so if you're interested in finding out if you are the light, the sound, the flow, the shadow, who your divine counterpart is, how far along in your journey you are, all these different things, I think that the Reunion Journey Toolkit and Spiritual Archetypes is where you want to go. All right. So we're going to go back to our banner. We're going to click, and now we are at services. So remember, we know we can find exclusives here. I'm going to go here actually, because this is easy to explain, and then we'll walk through the services and close out. All right. The services are personalized. Almost all of them. If it says, like this says exclusive package, this is a package of exclusives, meaning a package of pre-recorded videos, right? This is the spiritual archetypes. We already saw that. Exclusives are all pre-recorded. Okay. The New Wave Prophecy is here, even though it's not technically considered the exclusive, which is all readings. But the New Wave Prophecy is here because, well, it's pre-recorded. So I know some people would automatically lump it in there. That's why I put it there. We also have the annual exclusive packages. So there's 8 readings in this annual exclusive package, and the 8 readings you'll find here. So if you're like, Grace, I don't really want 8 of the readings. I only want 2 of them. I want the DM reading and I want the love letter. Then you can go into the exclusives page and go into the exclusive love letter and add it to your cart and the DM insights and add it to the cart. Okay. One really cool thing about these exclusives is that they go back a pretty significant amount of time. All right. These are love letters. How many? Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I don't know. Okay. 8, 20, 20. So there's like 25 love letters here that you've probably never seen. And like these from the past, like from one of the first ones that I ever did from back in the day, $3. So I just want to make sure you know that if you are ever interested in checking in on an energy in your relationship dynamic, let's say that you remember some important event from 2022 around the Lionsgate portal, you could come back in and get a message from that time, whether it's a love letter, or we can go back, whether that's a DM insights reading or even a divine feminine reading. If you've ever wanted a personal from me, or let's say you've gotten a personal from me, but you didn't necessarily have the funds to get one at this time, or you just felt like you were supposed to see something, but it wasn't necessarily supposed to be a personal, it's probably one of these. These exclusives are basically like in the middle of a collective and a personal reading. They're going to feel very, very accurate and spot on in your life, But again, you also have to find and have that intuition to know when to order them. There are a lot of people who don't even know these exist. I've been doing them for years. They've never seen one before. It's like their brain does not allow them to hear that I do these exclusives. And then there are some people who they've gotten all of the exclusives, but that's maybe like 3 people that I've worked with over the years. So if you don't feel led to them, that's no big deal. But if you've ever been like, I think there's something I'm supposed to get from her, and I think it's a reading, but maybe not a personal reading, what the heck am I even talking about? It's probably one of these. So the 2025 package includes a love letter. Well, every year. All right. Every year includes, there's the Lightworker package as well. So if you want the complete package, it has 8 readings. If you want the Lightworker package, which is more like ascension focused, it's still twin flame, obviously. That's what my specialty is, but it's more about purpose, and the other 4 are more about love, right? So if you get the complete, you get kind of 4 like love-ish readings and 4 Lightworker-ish readings, or you can just get the Lightworker package. All right. But you could get the love letter, the DM reading, the divine feminine insights, a rune reading. I do one every year. The forecast for the year, which is a 12-month overview. We go through each and every single month and pull a card. And 2025, by the way, thank the Lord, was beautiful. And I'm super excited. I can already feel the energy. So this is great. There's a prophetic insights reading, a single card insights reading, and a Lightworker insights reading. The Lightworker insights reading is basically like a full, I don't want to say personal, but it is a full Lightworker reading. If you've ever gotten one from me before, if you ever feel drawn to them, there is something major that's about to shift in your life. And it's not the reading that's going to make the difference. Something's already going to happen for you. But these readings are designed to basically help you transition from where you've been to where you're going. All right. So if you ever feel called, this is where you'll find the Lightworker Insights reading. And there's the Lightworker Insights readings for these previous years. All right. And this can help you a lot because the reading essentially goes through and says, like the 2022 reading was probably looking at 2021 versus 2022. The 2025 reading was probably looking at 2024 versus 2025 and beyond. Right. So that can give you a good idea of how to utilize those. So if you're interested in the annual exclusive package, those are the 8 readings that you're going to get. Now you said, Grace, you said there was a Lightworker package. Yes. So you said, well, where's the other 4? Soon I will put up the other 4 here. But right now, this is where you get, if you want the divine masculine reading, the divine feminine reading, a love letter, and then a bonus. Okay. This is where you'll find that in the future. But right now, if you want those readings, you're either going to have to buy them individually or as a part of the package. I don't set that package up until later in the year. Okay. But you'll see, I can show you what I mean by that. So this is every package I've ever done. So all the way back to fall. So as you saw, when I showed you the love letters, there's also the fall package, which includes the love letter, the DM reading, the DF reading, and then some bonus reading. So here is the 1-1 exclusive package. Here is the 1-1 Master Builder package. Here is the 1-1 Powerful Partnership package. So soon, maybe a few months from now, you'll see the 1-1 package for 2025 up here, and it'll include those 4 readings, okay? But for now, this is all the previous readings. And like I said, I love to see people go through and comment. They'll like get one. I can't remember when, I don't think it was a package, but it was something back here. I just can't remember exactly what it was, but someone bought a reading. And then they commented on it and they were like freaking out that something aligned. And then they sent me screenshots of some messages from back then. And I was like, holy crap. So yes, I love that energy is so timeless. And that's how these packages are designed. So, all right, where are we at, Grace? That's it. Yeah. These are the specialty insights readings. There is a divine feminine love note, which is like from DF to DM. And I stopped doing those because I got tired of divine feminine saying, that's not how I feel. So I was just like, all right, you know what? I'm done. So this was the last one I did. Then there's a twin flame discovery session. I think this is a really special reading. It can help you discover more about who your true twin flame is. based on some specific parameters that I think are required from a divine partner, and then an encouragement session just to kind of help you through if you're ever having a tough time. So those are some things that you can check out. I think that the single card insights and prophetic insights are very popular throughout the year. So if you happen to see this message and you're just feeling called to a reading, the runestone reading can be a bit much. It is very high level. All right. When I pull my runes, you guys know I made my own runes. It's woo. But again, all the readings this year were like, I was just so blessed to see what was coming for us. But I do think that the prophetic insights and single card, there's just something about having this message for the moment that comes through. So these are the exclusives. They're already recorded. They're already done. If you order them earlier in the week, like not on a Friday or Saturday, you can get them almost immediately in many cases. If you're interested in something personalized, I'll show you what I think are the most popular things, okay? I do have the Treat Yourself specials. I like to read this as Treat Yourself special. But anyways, the Treat Yourself specials. And I also have a flash sale that will sometimes come up. And I also sometimes have like a monthly special. Like it'll say January special, February, something like that. All right. If you ever see that, I highly suggest you click it, because that special is almost always going to be a lot less than even the sale that I have running. I always have a sale running. All right. So take 25% off. So many of the items on my website are 25% off right now, but I can actually show you. Here's some. So yeah, the spiritual archetypes, 25% off right now. Sessions with Mr. Lightwork, courses, the contract, New Wave Prophecy, phone calls. Okay, so here's, for instance, I have a call right now. Where's the tarot call? Okay, I have a tarot call right now that's on sale 25% off. That's excellent, right? Great. But if you see this, click it. Click it. Because a 40-minute tarot call here is only $44.44. Now, I will say, you do have to complete it in the month of January when I'm recording this. So you might be like, oh, I don't know if I have time, or I can't do that right now. So it would be better for me to get the other one. I get that. All right. But that's what I'm saying. Always check. You never know. You might not like anything in here. You might not be looking for anything that's listed. I don't put every single thing on sale. But usually my most popular stuff is going to be listed in one of these little special products that I make. My most popular is probably this stuff right here: the tarot sessions, personal readings, and phone sessions. So we'll start with tarot sessions. If you want to work together, I will give you a call and I will have a spread, not a spread. I have cards in my hand, and when you pick up, I start shuffling and I lay out a spread and I work off that spread our whole call. So if you're interested in doing that, we have with tarot, or you could do without tarot. And these are those phone sessions I told you about. And for both of these types of calls, so let's go through this real quick. It's down here. Okay. Oh, just so you know, if you ever want to add extra call time, you can add extra minutes here. Okay. The same thing with tarot. If you ever want to add extra tarot time, you can add, want more time? You can add time there. Okay. All right. So if you are interested in booking with me, you can purchase multiple sessions. That means if you ever want to take advantage of a sale, I'm totally cool with that. But you cannot combine them anymore. I used to let people do that, but I have too many sales going on, like, that are too good. And if I do them by themselves, it's okay. But if I start combining them, it actually is really bad for me. So I've just decided to just do away with combining sessions altogether. I just don't like to have to tell people no. So we'll just not do that at all. Okay. Also, you can only do one session per day. And that means since I have 2 days per week that I do sessions, you are limited to 2 sessions per week. Now, I don't think there's anybody who actually needs to have any worries about any of this stuff. All right. Most of the things that I have listed are because there's always going to be one person, but I work with thousands of people. So most of you, this isn't going to matter, but I just want to kind of let you know. Oh, I need to update this. This says December. Good to know, Grace. Okay. Will take place on Sundays and Wednesdays. So as of right now in January, that's another reason why this just says December, because I may change this. Right now, my calls are taking place on Sundays and Wednesdays between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So if you want to know what time it is right now where I am, just Google what time is it in New York City or what time is it in Miami, Florida. And if you look those times up, you will know exactly what time zone difference we have. All right. But I do want to give a little bit of an estimate for you. If we work together and you're on the West Coast of the United States or somewhere in that time zone, the times are basically from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. for you. So we'll probably work together during daytime hours, which that's pretty standard, right? You're only a few hours away. If you are in the UK or somewhere in that time zone or near there in Europe, you're probably going to work with me in the afternoon or evening your time. It's going to be like 3 p.m. 3 p.m. to 12 or like 11, p.m. on Sunday and Wednesday. So it'll probably be, unless, if you're working, it'll probably be in the evenings, right? Or maybe before bed. And then if you are an Aussie or a Kiwi, it will most likely be early morning that we work together. If you're like a night owl, then maybe before you go to bed, if you go to bed super late, we can do a session before you go to bed. But most likely it's going to be before work on Monday or Thursday for you. All right. So I wanted to kind of help a little bit with this. I need you to provide your email address at checkout, or else I cannot send you an email to book your session. And I need you to make sure that you are keeping up with those emails. The way that this works is I email you and tell you, hey, I'm available these times on these days. You send me something back and you say, hey, Grace, here's a few times that work for me. I email you back up an appointment. You email me back your phone number to confirm. That's my process every single time. I email you my availability. You email me your availability. I coordinate for us and create an appointment. You send me your phone number so I can call you. I call you, we have our appointment, and that's done. Very, very simple every single time. All right. I do it this way because it keeps the prices low. I could increase my pricing to cover the cost of some sort of scheduling bot or something like that. But why would I do that when I like the fact that I can talk to my clients directly? The only people who ever have a problem with it are usually people who are like, well, I would prefer to be able to book the way I'm used to booking with a specific company that I like to work with. And it's like, well, I am not Amazon. I am not Google. I am little fiery Grace, just little old me with my little Gmail account. And in order to make sure that I can meet as many people as possible, I try to utilize services that are free. I do use Zoom, but I don't use Zoom the way you would want me to. Okay. What do you mean, Grace? Well, if you have a session that is 40 minutes or less, I will allow you to send me a Zoom invitation and I will join your Zoom. But if you are using a free version of Zoom like I am, it will cut off and hang up on the person after 40 minutes. Since I started my business, I have been using Skype. And again, the only people who ever have a problem with that are people who are like, Skype is so old. Okay, well, listen, there are some people who do not have phones that can support Zoom. There are some people who cannot afford to pay for another subscription. There are some businesses like me who prefer to utilize a streamlined set of services. I use Skype for that. Okay, so if you're interested in working with me and you are international, we use Skype. It is free. It has been around for a really long time. It is safe. I will not bother you or harass you on there. I only log in to have my calls. If you are a United States, or I also believe Canada, yes, if you are in the US or Canada, we can have our session over the phone. And that's that. I will call you from a 716 area code. I picked that because with Google Voice, I can pick my own phone number and my birthday is July 16th. So I picked 716. Everyone always sees the Buffalo number come in. And even though I'm calling them at their appointment time, they'll say, I almost didn't pick up. And some people actually don't pick up. I'll call 3 times, leave them messages. They will refuse to answer. They will not check their emails. And then they'll email me 4 hours later and say, I was waiting by my phone. And sometimes I think they're not telling me the truth. But some people were like, no, I really was waiting by my phone. And I saw Scam Like Me call me a bunch of times, but I figured you wouldn't. And it's like, look, I don't know why. Sometimes it says it, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I don't even think it says scam. It just says Buffalo, New York. And people are like, oh, she's not there. Please, if I tell you I'm going to call you at a certain time, the only thing I might call you like a couple minutes late, because sometimes I say bye to clients and they don't want to say bye back. I'll just say it like that. So I might be a couple minutes late, but otherwise I try really hard to properly space out my days, to call people on time, to not waste their time. I know people are on lunch and stuff like that. I don't want to bother you and have to push your day back or anything like that. So please pick up your phone. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So there's everything for phone sessions. Let's go back into services, Grace. Yes. So that is how you book a phone session with me. Tarot, phone. If we do tarot, like I said, I've got a set of cards there. If there's no tarot, that doesn't mean like, oh, so now you're a psychic, right? It's like, no. If you want me to do something where you're asking me like what I feel and sense, not like what I feel as a person, but like what I sense. If you're trying to use me as a medium, you can do that through tarot. If you are utilizing my skills and gifts and abilities and all the things that I am extremely powerful in, then a phone session is good. And I promise you, you don't need me to be a psychic for me to help you. I can assure you, you don't need me to have anything that you think you need me to have, because what I have that helps you before we get on those phone calls, that helps you during the readings, even the tarot cards, you're giving them a lot more credit. It's mostly me. All right. God has blessed me. So if you need to talk to me and you don't want me to do a reading, let's have a phone session. But I will also say this. If you just want a personal reading, like if you want to get on the phone with me, but you're going to be silent, just order a recorded personal. 'Cause that's weird for me. I'm sorry, but I can't do it. Now I realize what's happening is some people are used to the old school tarot where you like call the hotline and then you just like let them talk and read for you. That's not really the purpose of a tarot reading session where you get to talk to me on the phone. You're getting to use all my gifts and abilities plus the reading to guide us through a message, and you should take advantage of that. So if you're like, oh, I really want to hear from Grace, I really want a personal, but I'm not really much of a talker, and I'm probably not going to have anything to say on a reading, don't waste your time scheduling and all. Girl or sir, whoever you are, why don't we just have a personal recording? That way you could just watch it whenever you want. It's still just for you. It's still, and plus it doesn't just happen one time. Like I said, you can watch it every time. The way that these work, I'll click here. So let's say you ask for a divine masculine reading. So what would happen is I would record a private reading for you, and then I would upload it to YouTube, and then you get to watch it on YouTube like you're watching any other tarot reading, except it's private. Only you can see it. So if you're interested, I have a few options, and you'll want to make sure you check these drop downs. There's all kinds of options here. When I do personals recordings, I have two options for that: free flow or specific. Free flow means I press record and I start the reading, and whatever comes through as we're going through, I present it to you. I receive the downloads, I present them to you, and you discern what divine is trying to say to you in that time. There's also specific insights. This is where you come in and you say, I would like to control the way that this reading goes. I'd like you to ask these questions. And here you can also provide a little bit of information. I typically recommend to not gum up the works. If you're going to provide a lot of information, order a longer reading, because it does need to be incorporated into that time. All right. So if you're like, you know what, I don't want to give you any details, but I do want to ask specific questions, no problem. These are going to be the best option for you. So yes, recorded personals and tarot and phone calls are the most popular things that most people are going to want from me at any given point. All right. And when we look at these treat yourself specials or the flash sale or the monthly special, anything you see that's kind of like its own special little thing, that's not really a specific product, that like the product itself is a special. Does that make any sense? Okay. So if it says something like flash sale or special, check this drop down, because I don't have a 5-minute 1-card divine masculine reading anywhere else on my website. I don't have a 15-minute energetic DM reading. I don't have a 25-minute call, a phone call. I'm sorry. I don't have a 25-minute tarot call, and I don't have a 30-minute phone call. Oh, I also, Just be quiet. Just act like it's not there, Grace. Okay. Sorry. So my point is that not only are these going to give you better deals if I decide to put something like this up, but also it might have other things that maybe you wouldn't necessarily find any other time. So I just made this for Black Friday or for Christmas or something and decided to throw it back up in January for a few days because a couple people were like, oh, I didn't know you had a sale going for the last 2 months. Yeah, I know. It happens every time. I'm not picking on you. Don't worry. It happens constantly. I tell people that I do readings and stuff, and I still always have people go, I've been watching your readings for a year. I never knew you did personals. And I'm just like, it's funny because there are some people who complain that it's like, you're always telling us about your offerings. And then some people are like, I never knew. And I'm just, it's so funny. Okay, focus, Grace. So check out the specials. So the Treat Yourself specials has tarot sessions, personal readings, and phone sessions. There's our most popular. There is the special for it. All right, let's see what else is on here. Collective support group. We've talked about all this stuff. Mr. Lightwork chats. Specialty readings. So if you've ever been interested, if you've ever been interested in a contract reading, that's the contract analysis here. You see, it's my longest 90-minute reading. If you've ever been interested in a love letter, I no longer do reunion love letters. I only do separation love letters now. A reunion love letter basically is a divine masculine. I kind of tap into more of the hope and the faith and the vision that they have for reunion. The separation love letter taps more into the pain and the things that they were working through and healing. And I have found that even though the separation love letter is extremely agonizing for me to do, oh gosh, that the worst thing for me is to do a reunion love letter and have a divine feminine come back and say, my DM would never talk like that. It hurts my soul. And it's only happened a couple times, and all but one have come back and said, I'm really sorry. I went back and listened to the message again, and I realized this, or in one case, she was like, I already knew what he was saying, and I thought I had heard it in a dream, but I realized it was the message I had rejected from you or through you. I was like, oh. Anyways, so I no longer do reunion love letters. I can't. I stick to doing those for the collective, and hope that those who need them will embrace them. But I do still offer separation love letters. I just don't talk about it. All right? Okay. Twin flame contract, lightworker soul purpose. Remember that reading I said that was a exclusive lightworker reading? You can get a personalized version of that here. I also do birth chart analysis and strategy. This is not a birth chart. I don't do your birth chart. I pull your birth chart or you and your partner's birth chart. So you do have to have their birthday. I don't need their birth time, but I need their birth date and your birth date and year. Okay. I do pull, do I need the year? I don't remember now. I think I need the year, but I think it might just be the birth date. I think I like the year though. I think the year still provides me with more information. If you do have the times, by the way, please give me the times because the more information I have, the better still. But I just need, I believe, birth dates. My point in saying all this is that I pull the information and then based on what has been analyzed by an astrologer, I do a further analysis and I break down the challenging and positive aspects of your dynamic. Whatever is challenging you to, I help you develop a strategy to work through it so you don't have to keep dealing with separation. All right. I also do prophetic name analysis and I have a flower of life reading that I do if you're interested. The prophetic name analysis is where I go through the meaning behind your name. I really prefer to do the couples analysis because I love to see how the names combine. But basically I break down and analyze the prophetic nature. And it's really special what comes through. So these are some of the specialty readings I still offer. I used to do a lot of other stuff, but these are the ones that I feel still like open to offer you. I do have an email reply donation exchange. And basically this is just like, if you're like, I need a reply from you about something immediately. I don't want a chance that maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. Then you can just send over a little donation and a quick email and I'll get back to you. If you want to do just normal donations, you can go over here to support. Okay. This is where it's just, here's a love offering. I don't need anything in return. And then the last one is publisher support. And I have added this back because I have been called to create a book for twin flames, for the twin flame journey. And so if you're interested in supporting that, I could really use your help. I have an issue with doing work like that when I know there's other stuff that I should be doing or other things that I could be doing so that I could support my family. And so whenever I feel like, hey, look, this just paid a bill, Grace, like, come on, sit down and write a little bit. That's why I haven't written in 2 years. I haven't done anything with my book series because I've been really busy with the collective, and I feel like I don't want to shove my book series down anyone's throat. So I just kind of stopped talking about it. And so now I haven't written. And so that's actually completely separate from this. What I'm talking about here is a twin flame journey specific, not a story, but like, hey, let's walk through this. And it's going to include a lot of the things that I've shared before, today, where I've said, hey, there's things that you need to know about being a twin, that you need to know about this journey, that maybe Mr. Lightwork believes every divine feminine should know this. I believe every divine feminine should know this. When you put all that together, I think that is what the book will most likely entail. I'm not exactly certain yet. I never intended to do anything like that, but I guess I have to. So if you're interested, I will have this up most likely for the majority of the year because I don't talk about stuff the way that I should. Like I'll mention it once or twice, and then people kind of, and I just like, okay, never mind. And I run away. So I probably won't talk about this, but if you see it's up and you're like, you know what, I want to support that, it would be amazing to have your support. It's the only way I can do anything. It's the only way I can really live is to have you guys. And so that it does get a little bit scary because there's a lot of people who assume someone else is going to help or assume that I don't need any help or whatever. And then I have like maybe an issue of pride, just not wanting to ask, not wanting to beg. And unfortunately, I'm realizing that would be fine if I was just well off or whatever, and also had no dreams or goals of helping people. But how am I supposed to, for instance, continue doing, stuff like this? Where am I going to get $5,000 to just throw into putting 100 bags together or whatever? Like I used to do that when I had a corporate job, and I don't know, I've got to figure out how to get back to who I was. So I got to figure it out, guys. But for those of you who get where I'm coming from, I just really appreciate you and the support you give, even in just like liking a video. It really means everything. So I think that's the site, right? Services. Was there something else I was supposed to go through? Personal coaching, specialty readings. There's the courses. No, I think that's probably everything. Did I go through the personal coaching? Right? Yeah, I did. So if there's anything at all that you would like me to bring back, you can always say, hey, Grace, what happened to this? Or what about this? Or do you still do this? It might be on here somewhere. But if not, this is everything you need to know about going through my site. I don't know if anyone's actually going to go through and just watch this whole video, unless you just kind of want to hang out with me. But if you made it all the way to the end, you don't have to leave anything in the comments. If you don't want to, you can leave two flames in the comments if you made it to the end. But otherwise, I hope that this is helpful, and I would love to know how else I can assist you. But for now, my best recommendation is check out some of the stuff I already have. I have a lot of stuff that might not seem like it's exactly what you're looking for until you find out that it is. And I love those moments when someone comes back and they say, oh my gosh, Grace, I can't believe I took so long to do this or that because, and I'm like, yay. So I love you so much. And you said everything. You did everything. I don't know. I hope so. Coaching, merchandise, learn more, just takes to the homepage. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, my dears, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Peace.